Yeah, neither.
Okay, now can you hear me? Yes. All right. Mabuhay.
Okay, music.
I don't know if you remember, you were the grocery store.
Oh, yes.
The other time was,
Okay.
I'll probably just give you some prompts, but you can just, talk. Let's see. Get my tape recorder.
Tape recorder, that's your phone, man.
Voice recorder. Yeah, just don't have a tape.
No, it'd be like this. You would be doing this.
It's all digital.
2 fingers.
It's all digital.
Yeah. Much better that way. Hey, did you see my friend Nick?
Nick. Trying to
The
recall.
one I walked in with? He's got a black shirt with a kind of Hawaiianish looking.
How do you
I might
pronounce
have
your last name?
to put a face to his name.
Italian.
Italy, right?
The son of the mighty.
We have the spelling, so I want to spell it.
Yeah, it should be right.
ITL.
We have it in our program and everything.
It's right here.
Oh, those are your displays.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You brought your displays. That's cool.
You ready?
I'm recording.
What's the date again today?
The 6th, right? Or the 5th?
The 6th.
The 6th, September 6th.
September 6th
So we're here September 6th.
in Delano.
In Delano for the 60th anniversary of the 1965 grape workers' strike. And we're here today with Johnny Itliong, the son of one of the big organizers, one of the founders of the group that kicked us off, and he's going to go into details about what happened in 1965. Sir, if you could give us an account of those days and how the strike came about, and how Larry and others from the Filipino community in particular got the ball rolling.
Okay, well, should I introduce myself?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, my name is Johnny Itlian. I'm the son of Larry Itlian. I was born in 1965, so I witnessed as a child a lot of what happened during the grape strike. At 5 years old, I started working in the fields, and so I understood what the plight was all about. I worked until I was 14 in the fields, but my dad passed away at 10 years old.
Wow.
So much of what I know comes from my dad's papers. Should I look at you or the camera?
Camera's good.
Okay, so what I know
just got
is what my papers, my dad's paper, sorry. So much of what I know is because of my dad's papers. So I speak only factual, what comes from his work. So, unfortunately, the main focus is really UFW and how it started, and the correction of what has been told by the leaders of the UFW, Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta. They seem to, when it's a Mexican audience, they say that they're the ones who created the union and organized it and did all that. When they're on Filipinos, then they give us credit. It was many years that when you went on the UFW website, you couldn't even find my father's information, or even about Filipinos.
Wow.
But his story doesn't start in 1965. His story starts in 1929 and the creation of many unions prior to the UFW, where a certain person, Dolores, she claims that she recruited and taught my father. But how do you teach a man who was part of the first strikes in Seattle with the lettuce fields, 1929? He, after working in the lettuce fields during the season, he went to work in the canneries. And so he also became the part of the cannery boat workers Union and the Long Boat Workmen's Union.
If I may, did he know Philip Veracruz at that time?
He did. He, through his time, he knew Philip. Well, he didn't meet Pete Velasco until like 58, around then. And then he worked with Ben Gines. He was a founding member of the International Longshore Workmen's Union and held up the vice president, where he went up against positions against Philip Veracruz and Ben Gines and Andy Umaton. So he knew those guys for years. And so they would, run for controller and so there was a kind of a resentment and a jealousy brought up by Philip Veracruz, which he talked about in his book. And so I'm kind of jumping around here. So Philip Veracruz's book, he wrote in his book that he admitted that he was jealous of Larry, and he wished he would have backed him up here in the UFW when Larry was going head to head with Chavez about things, because they were different kind of organizers. And so Philip, in the end, got treated like my dad did, and ended up leaving the UFW because of Chavez. And so we go back to the beginning. So when my dad started, so he was a founding member of ILWU. He was a founding member and was a protege of Ernest Managua, who was the founder of the Coalition of International Organization. Founding member, held position there as well, under Ernest Managua. Ernest Managua taught him so much about unionizing. He's accredits him a lot to Ernest. And I don't know if you know CIO. Well, that's the CIO of AFL-CIO, right?
Congress of Industrial Organization.
Organization, yes. And so among other unions that he founded and started, the Filipino Farm Labor Union. He was with, oh my goodness, there's too many. I'm getting old now.
ILWU?
But yeah, we already talked about that. But there was several others. There was about 12 unions before he even thought about UFW. And the thing is, during UFW, he was a member of ILWU, AFL-CIO, and one other one. What was it? Man, I'm getting old. Remember, I used to rip these out left and right. So my father had all this experience. And then AFL-CIO wanted to create a union because the Teamsters were creating a union out in the fields. So they said, they can't just do it, we have to do it too. So my father, knowing all the people of AFL-CIO, they went and sought to recruit him to be the strike director. Now, there's Dolores Huerta claimed today that she was an organizer for AWOC and recruited my father, that she was the recruiter for AWOC. Truth is, Dolores Huerta was the secretary at AWOC for 30 days. Then she left to go to the NFWA. She just went through this whole crazy history of whatever that she came up with. And how are you the secretary and you taught my dad about unionizing and organizing? When you're 30 years old, my father's 50 years old when you met him. Not only that, founded all these unions prior to that. And you're going to claim that you taught my dad how to organize and unionize. Sorry.
So you took offense to that when you heard that today?
Absolutely. And so did
a lot of people?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, going back to...
Because it seemed like everyone just laughed it off.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to laugh this off. I'm going to say something.
No, that's good. I mean, like, I'm totally ignorant. Now, do you think, she's in her 90s, man. Do you think that she's
Cognitive.
not really remembering it right? Or do you think she's purposefully...
She's legacy building. She's a legacy building because she tried to do this in the 50th anniversary. And the next event after that in San Jose, right, it was a mural, and she was invited, I was invited. To get this, I got paid $500, which is fine. That's normal for me. I'm not in it for the money. Pay my way, get me there, and I'll do whatever I need to. You know, I'm here for you.
In it for the truth.
Yeah.
Set the narrative.
She walks in, they lie, because she tried to say the same thing. I taught your dad how to organize. So I got my list and started reading off these unions and the years that they happened. And I didn't say her name, but I said, there's a person who's claiming they taught him. How did you teach, right?
Well, not everybody believes the story that the UFW started at all. A lot of us know this true story for a long time now.
Yeah.
I was really, when I saw the movie, how you guys busted your ass, and then when the day after it was made, you couldn't get any jobs because you had no seniority. What the fuck, man? I'm just like
50 years of seniority
Dude.
to 0, and you're with the newbies.
wow.
And, and you're 60 and 70 years old.
Yeah.
They just displaced them, man. They just fucking displaced them.
Yeah, we lost out.
I saw that.
Like dispose of them.
Yeah, they just
So what impact did that have on the effort to
Filipinos?
keep striking the employers when
Well, by
you
then,
found all this out? I mean,
so by then, what had happened is because of the grape strike, which started the movement, right?
in the boycotts.
In the boycotts, and so after we won, my dad and Chavez and several other people, I need to find out where I can get the names, but they sat on a board to help write the first agricultural labor laws.
Oh, okay.
Okay. In turn, those were our very first labor laws, which turned into our labor laws. So every working person in the United States has been affected by what my dad did and Chavez
That's important.
did. We're all protected
That is
because
important.
of them.
Workers' comp, maternity leave, paternity
All that came from this?
Yes.
unemployment insurance, minimum wage laws.
Yeah.
Came through these negotiations.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't come exactly there, but that's what it transitioned to. That was the steps to go in that direction.
And extended to agricultural workers.
No, it started with the agriculture.
It started first, what you're saying, and it
How
went.
come they weren't fully recognized, with all their rights? It was a national thing?
Because it
they
still
started
wasn't
all-
accepted by people, right?
But-
By the growers. They
By
were
the
still
bosses.
able to do things. I mean, they're still doing stuff like that now.
Well, it's a
and getting
separate
away with it.
category.
Yes.
Of workers.
They separated them now. Yeah.
So, and
Well, that's good to
it's
know.
all about profit. And they do everything. If you got money, you can do things, right?
That's good history. I know that those rights came out of those struggles with your dad.
So with that, my father, he started the strike. He got recruited by AWOC, right? They knew about him. My father brought in the money with the United Auto Workers Union. He knew the Auto Workers Union because of AFL-CIO. Because of AFL-CIO, he also knew the Kennedys. So all these things that happened to the UFW were brought by my father, not by Chavez.
You're saying he introduced Kennedy to Chavez?
Yes. Let me show you some proof.
I believe you, man, but shit, this is
This
cool.
So you can put it on your camera.
Yeah.
This is factual.
Okay.
And if you go to the UFW, you see stuff like NFW. Oh, why is it doing that? Oh, hold on. Because it's on the picture thing. Here it is. And so so this is one picture I like to point out. See, AWOC, AFL-CIO, right? I can't see. I'm like, okay. And then over here, there's no AFL-CIO and NFWA.
Oh, yeah.
And now,
You're right.
all over the UFW stuff, they have NFWA, AFL-CIO. It was never a union. NFWA was only
An association.
association that was created in the form of a credit union, right?
Interesting.
Never affiliated with the
Never a
AFL.
union.
Yeah.
So on the signing of the contract, right? On the signing of the contract, the only legal name on that contract is Larry Itlian. Because if Caesar just signed it, it didn't mean anything because he was not part of a union. How are you going to sign a union contract? It'd be like you signing the union contract, right?
So your dad just like agreed to involve the
Well,
farm workers?
but by then,
What happened?
Chavez was already voted the director, and my father was assistant director,
Oh, I see.
right? Only because there's more Mexicans here.
At the time, because before it wasn't that way, right?
Well, it's still,
So your
it's still,
father-
there's still more Mexicans than Filipinos. So.
He became the assistant director of the UFW?
UFW.
Wow.
So this is the picture I like to show.
So they must have had some reconciliation.
Because in people's minds, they think they're the same. Look at, this is Pete Velasco, there's my dad. See that sun-worn, hardened,
Yeah.
right? Look at Chavez. He worked in the fields for 3 months. What does he know about working in the fields and unionizing?
Yeah.
What did he know? He didn't know, right? So here's the story of my father. Very important. Here's the story of my father. Chavez didn't know how to go strike on the fields. They would go, they couldn't figure it out. This is my father, and he told me this, right? This is told to me by my dad. In order to find out where the field workers is going to happen, right? Because we have how many hectares of acres do we have in the valley, right? Where do you go? How do you know? So, because Filipinos, a lot of them were in the military and were scouts, he sends scouts out north, east, south, and west. Send them out with a stack of dimes, right? And gas money. So the reason why he sent them out with so many dimes is because a lot of the stores in the small towns, Pixley, Allensworth, Ducor, Early Mart, the store owners,
Poplar.
where the phones were at, would not let them use it, right? So they would have to go one place to another to say, hey, they're picking out here. And how they found out they were picking out there is because before the workers go out, the job that I did too was you get on the back of the truck and you toss out the boxes as the truck goes down. And you drive and drive and drive till you see these boxes out in the fields with your scouts going north, east, south, and west. Once you do that, you call into headquarters, Filipino Hall. Okay, this is where we're at. Okay, we'll send a group of people there. That's how they did it. Chavez didn't know that.
Wow.
No
Yeah,
clue about
that's
that.
impressive.
Right? So that's the reason why I show this, right?
Wow.
30 years of organizing. My dad was 53, Chavez was 30. 30 years of organizing prior to meeting Chavez. Dolores, he met Dolores when she was 17. She was a secretary for 30 days. And she's trying to tell us that she taught my dad about organizing.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot for a story and Kennedy, huh?
I could take you guys to Filipino Hall later.
Filipino Hall. Who's next to him?
Kennedy. Oh, your dad.
Your dad.
Yeah.
My dad brought Kennedy
Yeah.
because he met him through AFL-CIO and the UAW. My dad was the one who brought the big money.
And always get all that liberal support.
UAW.
That wouldn't work. If it wasn't for your dad, it
President of the
wouldn't.
UAW.
Wow.
The vice president of the
United
UAW.
Auto Workers.
Ben Gines, my dad, Caesar.
So did you know Marshall Gantz? Did he know Marshall Gantz?
Yes.